On my wedding day, everything felt like a dream. The hall was glowing with lights, flowers filled the air with their fragrance, and people kept coming to congratulate me with warm smiles. My heart was full of excitement and nervousness, but most of all, happiness. I was finally marrying the woman I had loved for years, the one I believed would stand by me in every situation, in every storm, in every joy. I remember standing near the stage, waiting for her to arrive. My friends teased me, saying my hands were shaking and my smile wouldn't leave my face. They were right. It was the biggest day of my life. When she finally walked in, wearing the wedding dress, her eyes lowered shyly, I felt the world pause for a moment. She looked angelic, almost unreal, and I kept asking myself how I got so lucky. But sometimes life has strange ways of revealing truths when you least expect them. It happened after the ceremony, during the reception. The guests were eating, music was playing, and laughter echoed in the hall. I was greeting some relatives when I noticed my bride slip away with her close group of friends. They were standing near a corner, giggling and talking freely, unaware that I was nearby. Out of curiosity, I stepped closer, not to eavesdrop, but just to join them. But then I froze. I heard her laughing, louder than usual. And then her words cut through me like a blade. What if my husband never found out? Her friends burst into laughter, covering their mouths like it was some naughty secret. She laughed along with them, her face glowing, as if she had shared the funniest joke in the world. I stood there, unable to move. My chest tightened, and suddenly the music, the laughter, and the joy around me all became distant noises. What did she mean? What was it that I should never find out? My mind began spinning. Was it just a silly joke? Or did it carry some hidden truth? A secret she hadn't told me? I tried to dismiss it, to convince myself it was nothing more than pre-wedding banter carried over into the night. But deep inside, a seed of doubt had been planted. When she noticed me nearby, she quickly straightened up, her laughter fading. She walked over, slipped her hand into mine, and smiled as if nothing had happened. But her friends exchanged knowing looks, and that unsettled me even more. Throughout the night, I kept smiling, shaking hands, and posing for pictures. But my heart wasn't in it anymore. Every time I looked at her, I heard those words echoing in my head. What if my husband never found out? After the guests left, and it was just the two of us, she seemed radiant, tired, yet happy. She leaned on my shoulder, whispering how magical the day was. I wanted to ask her, to confront her, but the words got stuck in my throat. What if I ruined the night over a meaningless joke? What if she got offended and thought I didn't trust her? The night passed, but the question haunted me. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. From the outside, everything seemed perfect. We laughed, we traveled, we built dreams together. But inside me, there was always a shadow. Sometimes, when she was on the phone with her friends, I would wonder if they were laughing about that same secret. When she stayed late at work, I questioned if there was something she wasn't telling me. One evening, unable to take it anymore, I asked her directly. I reminded her of that night, of her joke, and told her how it had been eating me alive. At first she was stunned into silence. Then she laughed softly, holding my face in her hands. "You fool," she said gently. It was nothing. Just silly talk between girls. They were teasing me about how marriage changes everything, about secrets, about surprises. And I joked, what if my husband never found out? I didn't mean anything. There's nothing you don't know about me. I wanted to believe her, and her eyes seemed honest. Yet, even as she reassured me, I couldn't shake the memory of the way her friends had laughed. Over the years, I realized something important. Love isn't just about smiles and happy moments. It's about trust. And trust isn't something you can build overnight. It's tested, again and again, by little things that may not even matter in the end. Maybe my bride's joke really was meaningless. Maybe it was only my fear and insecurity that gave it weight. But that one sentence taught me more about relationships than anything else ever could. That sometimes a few words can leave scars, and sometimes laughter hides stories we may never fully know. Even today, whenever I look at her, I remind myself, love means choosing to believe, choosing to silence the doubts, choosing the person standing before you again and again, even when the heart whispers questions with no answers. And so, I chose her. But deep down, I will always remember the wedding night, not just for the vows we made, but for the moment I realized that even the happiest days carry their own shadows.